C sharp 5, baby. C sharp 5, baby. That's really high. That's insane. Oh, I touched the D, or whoa, I touched D5 though. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I gotta make my bed, so then I'll fucking turn on the or I'll plug in my webcam. What? Whoa, when did the... Oh, what the hell? The taskbar's gaslighting me. What? Why is it in the center now? I was just gonna ask why. It looked like Microsoft, whatever it's called. Windows 10 for a second. Alright, let's see. Rules. Create channel. What the hedge? It's kind of weird seeing my room so lit up. Oh my gosh, my back has been killing me, dude. I spent like freaking every freaking other 2 minutes or so just pressing on that dang. The corner of wall technique. You guys feel that? You guys ever do that? Oh, this is a good one. Actually, look at this. This is a good example. Or is it? Yeah. I guess I got this thing too. I always forget about this. Oh. There's just like one freaking spot, dude. One freaking spot. Kevin! Can you see me? Oh, hey. What's up, man? How are you? How have you been? Long time. I gotta move my freaking monitor so I can see the chat a little bit gooder. Does the captions recognize the word gooder? It makes me wonder. Gooder. Nope. What? Gooder. Hello. Does the chat recognize the word gooder? Or does the freaking caption? Gooder. Yes. Yes, very good. Very good, very good. I asked you how you're doing, right? Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm good, bro. As you know, I freaking was up for a long time yesterday. And I woke up maybe like 3 hours after I fell asleep. And I couldn't go back to sleep. And my freaking back has been killing me. Or like this one little spot in my back has been destroying me. And then I somehow... Oh, I just ended up eating a lot. I ate so much food. And then I passed out again. And then my whole body is super sore. And now my back still kind of... I mean, it hurts less than it did yesterday. But now my whole body's sore. Understatement, right, bro? Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. Or I'm not going to lie to anyone, but like... In the last 3 or 4 months alone, I probably had maybe 7 different instances of that. Of me just going ham for 24 hours straight. And just taking like my second dose or like my next daily dose of Adderall without like any sleep between. And it does carry me, dude, you know? Because this is a time in my life where I can't really be fucking around, so I'd rather be making my sacrifices, doing my obsessive things, because I can't afford a balanced lifestyle, you know? That shit's just gonna bring me down. So I attribute a lot of my accelerated growth to the the obsessive grind that I've been doing, and giving myself permission to do it. And like, you know, only the best artists do that shit. There's like so many different cases of the best artists sacrificing life balance that it became like obvious that I had to just accept that that was gonna be something that I needed to learn to integrate into my own mindset, my own lifestyle. Now, as a psychologist, as a person with a psychology degree, I already know how important sleep is or how important sleep is for my body, and like it's like literally the number one best thing. But you know, we can't afford that shit over a couple streams, right? Yeah, if copyright wasn't a fucking issue, or needing to reset my computer for doing the song request shit, it would have been cool to have a fucking 24-hour straight stream. That's the goal, you know. I don't really like breaking it up because of all sorts of reasons, but I mean, I guess the one benefit that might be good is that it's easier to clip if I do segment things, like my drum covers, or the only thing in particular that I really want from that 12-hour stream that I had going was I read a fucking story. I don't know if you were there for that, but I read a Dostoevsky short story, and it's gonna be like a couple extra steps, but it's not that. It's really like 20 extra seconds of editing. But yeah, I really want to just like isolate that chunk of time and then upload me reading a short story. But besides that, for like sectioning my streams, I wish I could just freaking have a fucking giant chunk for the archive. You know, really like emphasize the nature of the grind, you know. It emphasizes the nature of that moment in my life. But it's okay. I'll get there. Especially once we freaking... Oh, man, my back is killing me. Especially once we start getting those backing tracks figured out. I won't have to worry about copyright anymore. How was, have I done many clips as of yet? No, bro. I haven't, no, I mean, you've seen everything that I've done, bro. It's like, yeah, you've seen everything I've done. I haven't really done anything outside of like eating and doing chores outside of stream. But yeah, clips aren't that hard, especially because I'm more of a natural style guy. I mean, I guess with the songwriting tips that I had recently, that was the first time I've ever freaking deleted the silences. But even the software that we have nowadays can just do that automatically, and then I'll just have to overview it. But usually I just don't even make any edits, you know, because I kind of like the natural, organic rhythm and like all that shit in play. But yeah, I might have to adapt my editing style for what do you call it? People's attention spans, because there's a lot of good stuff, you know, that I have, but it's just the presentation style that might get in the way of them feeling like they want to be a part of it. What up, Jimmy? What up, Emily? Long time. Happy to see y'all. Right now, I'm just freaking hanging out, stretching my back. Oh, man. It just feels so good, dude. I can't stop now that I've started. Maybe if I want to clip something, I do a specific hand gesture I can pick up while fast forwarding. That's interesting, yeah. I have a couple thoughts. Yeah, so that would require me to sit through the every stream and then find that hand gesture, which would work for certain streams for sure. Like more like concentrated focus streams, maybe with like the last part of my stream yesterday where I was kind of doing practice, where I was practicing my songs and learning stuff. Another thing that people do is like, bam, like a huge clap. So when I look at the audio file, I can see a giant waveform, and then I can realize that that's a signal for myself. Another thing I can do is there's this thing for OBS. It's probably like a script. So it's a low tier plugin, in another word, a low tier add on that you can do called local chapter marker or local stream marker, where all I have to do is press a button and then it'll like make like a text file or something showing the timestamp of when I press that button. And then another thing I could do is in OBS, there's a way to start recording as well. And I did do that with my fucking practice session yesterday. I ended up recording the whole like hour and 30 minutes of me just playing music straight. But that is a privilege for that I can do with this really good computer that my friends let me borrow. So if I tried recording while streaming on my regular computer, shit would probably crash. But that's another option. And then another option, so many different options, bro. There's probably like one more or two more that I haven't considered or mentioned here. But then the last option I can think of right now is a replay buffer, which is you like turn on the replay buffer on OBS and it pretty much records everything in your random access memory, which is just like the computer short-term memory. And I can program how long of a time frame it remembers. So right now I have my replay buffer at around 90. I don't have it on at the moment, but I have it at like 90 seconds. So if something ever does happen, I can click a button, a hotkey on my keyboard, or just click the replay buffer download button. And it'll be like, all right, I'll remember that chunk of time, the last 90 seconds. And then, oh yeah. So really, it's all about getting my workflow figured out, my system. But yeah, I should have just recorded the freaking me reading this story. I was not thinking ahead like that. So I can always do it next time. Yeah, the clap sound wave. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty chill. That's a pretty chill way to do it too. Because some of the scripts, like the local stream marker where I press a button and it tells me the timestamp. Or I could even like go in chat and talk, or something like that. And then I'll look through the chat replay and then try to find when I started saying stuff. Yeah, the local stream marker, there's like maybe 3 different scripts, and I've tried 2 and they don't work, so. Yeah, just some random tech talk. Random techie, nerdy shit. I fucking played 30 minutes already on my trombone mouthpiece. So I was gonna freaking warm up on drums to let my lips rest before I get back into it, but I think working on my back here and hanging out with you might be a better use of my time anyways, so. Oh my god, you ever deal with back problems, Kevin? Now that I'm older, I'm like, shit, I gotta fucking develop some habits, man, because I'm becoming a cracky boy, becoming a little fucking, what do you call it? I'm freaking crinkling up, kind of like a shrimp over time. So I really need to set some daily time in, just like I do with trombone or music, and like respect my body in that same sort of disciplined mindset. Do my stretches, hang on the pull-up bar. Oh man, I'm telling you though, my back already feels like 50% better. There's like a freaking It just feels like there's a freaking bubble in here and I need to pop it. You ever get that? I don't know how to do it. Or you're bedridden the next day. Oh my god, bro. Yeah. And I used to value, and I still do, like arm stretches. Because you know how I fucking play the guitar. And my fingers are across 6 frets. And I only really developed that habit or like that mindset or that appreciation for stretching. Or you know, there's like the first massage that I learned was maybe when I was 22 or something. You know, you just fucking do this shit. And then ever since I started doing hand stretches, I haven't had any real problems, you know, knock on wood. But I used to be hella cracky. Like anytime I would fucking move my fingers, I'd be like, am I developing arthritis? So yeah, I just gotta like translate that appreciation, that mindset from my forearms and wrists all over my body now. There was a moment in time where I did do like maybe 2 or 3 minutes or total of hanging on that pull-up bar, but I kind of got lazy. Maybe like a year or two ago I started doing it, and yeah, my body is so much more healthy than it used to be. I used to just, you know, once COVID hit and my depression was hitting at a peak and all I did was play video games and sit down at the office for like fucking 10 hours straight, my body like was so bad. So yeah, I'm really surprised that I'm as fluid or smooth right now as I am, even though I'm still really cracky. So yeah, we're just kind of vibing right now. I can't believe it's already 6. Low-key, I might, I don't know how I'm gonna fucking reset my sleep schedule, because I was hoping that I would have done it already, but I woke up at like 10 and then I woke up at 2. And I have a whole day ahead of me, I feel. The day's already almost over. So yeah, it's just some lifestyle sacrifices I guess I'll need to make for hopefully the short term, you know. Hopefully I'll be able to get some sort of stability. If I keep pushing, and then maybe I'll be rewarded with an opportunity for stability, not feeling like I need to push myself so hard in the short term. Yeah, hopefully that comes up soon. Yep. Oh, I'm a cracky boy. All right. Yeah, well, how's your day been, Kevin? And did you end up going to the restaurant? What was that? 2 nights ago? Yeah, yesterday night. And then, yeah, the night before yesterday night. Did you end up going to that restaurant and ordering your 2 cups of water? I think that's what you said. Where did my water go? I used to work 6 to 6. What? Is that legal? Did you get overtime for that? What the hell? That's crazy. That's like, then what? You only have like freaking 2 hours or something or maybe like an hour of free time, and then everything else is like self-maintenance. If you can even plan for that, like eating or showering or, you know, how do you even have time for family or anything like that? That's crazy. Yeah, the system's fucked. 10 to 6. 4. So that's 10 hours. Wow. Definitely can't do that anymore, right? I don't think anyone should do that. That's crazy. But, yeah. Not to, like, say too much, but it's hard to even fucking afford that lifestyle. Working, or, like, affording, like, getting rent or whatever. Just dedicating half of your life, dude. You're fucking strong, man. You're strong for doing that. And those are public freaking facing jobs too. Or, I mean, dispatching. A dispatcher is like 911 operator, right? Where you're serving as the communications, like the primary means of communications with between emergencies and between person that needs help and then the help. Like, that sounds stressful, man. And then cab driver, you never know where you're gonna get there. You could even run into some dangerous people there. Man, that's crazy. Brass grass, bro. Fucking nice. All right, let's see. You like dispatching? Just practice like another chatter said. Did someone say they practiced? I missed that. I also didn't catch this either. Oh, that was cool. Signal. Oh, like, oh, that was cool. And then like this. Yeah. Did someone else say they practiced? I didn't get that one. Taxi dispatcher. Also, yeah, welcome Dylan. Trash Mint 8379. Are these numbers random? I always see people with numbers in their username. I don't know how that happens. I feel like I've never done that. Cause like the other words are not random, right? Are you guys choosing these numbers or like where? Why do you guys have numbers in your username for? It's like the most random numbers too. Hey, that's, yeah, I mean, you've probably seen your fair share of disappointing 911 dispatching calls, you know, as well, that, like, people that definitely should not be responsible for the care, the immediate attention for people that need instant help. Only if people were like you, Kevin, that, that had a real, like, moral sense of responsibility and delivering like these public services, because it's like you know, the person that, well, like the person that should be president probably is a person that doesn't even want to be president. It's like one of those things. Not to say that everyone who doesn't want to be president should be president, because that's obviously too simple of a statement, but that's not for you, Kevin. That's for anyone else that is considering these thoughts, that might be considering these thoughts for the first time, because I'm sure you're well aware of that, more than me, maybe. Given that you have more life experience, I feel like you do know more than me, respectfully. Oh, and Friday's chat. Today's Monday. Bro, what was Friday? And then yesterday was the second half of my 24-hour. Then I'd have to go to it. I don't really remember. Pretty much sleeping, coffee, yeah. No, just practice like another chatter said. It's Sunday, bro? Wow, that makes sense. That does make sense, because I tuned into a fucking video game stream for Marvel Rivals, you know, my game at the moment, my favorite game at the moment. And I was looking at her streaming schedule, and it was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And I was like, oh, why are they streaming today? Oh, it must be because it's Valentine's Day. And then I've just, that's how I've been looking at the day since. I didn't even check, I guess. It's Sunday this whole time. Oh, I should have known, because I did a lot of errands today. And, or cleaning duties, and Sundays are cleaning day. I'm just so aloof. Dude, I'm like so weird. This is like a small story, but one of my spray bottles, my multi-surface bottles that my mom makes from a concentrated solution, and then I don't even know how she does it. She probably just has water, like ratios with water or whatever. One of my cleaning bottles was almost out, and I was like, hey man, do you think that I could get a refill? And then she's like, oh no, there's still some left. And I'm like, well, when I like try to spray it, like nothing's really coming out. And then she was about to say something, and then I was like, oh, unless you want me to unscrew it and then like just like tap it on the towel. And then she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh wow, you're smart. I was like, you're smart. I'm like, wait, no, I thought of that, but I mean, yeah, you're still smart, but you know what I mean? I almost just like walked away, giving her, not giving myself like whatever the realization that I came up with that idea. I'm like, wow, you're really smart. I don't know. I'm so like aloof sometimes. It's crazy. It's like the sleep deprivation and probably all the drugs I've done and my natural brain chemistry. It's a perfect blend of goofiness, aloofiness. I call and talk to you, and oh, so that's what dispatcher is like. Yeah, you're like the main hub, and then you send someone for dispatch or something, I think, right? That makes sense. That makes sense. Hell yeah, I do. I try to mainly do it for the trombone, or if I'm singing, of course, the stuff that needs conscious intonation. Also, I saw you, I'm sorry, Cornelia? I didn't read your message, but I did see the Mr. Bats thing, so I don't mean to just skip over your message. I just looked at the screen and then I saw a tuner. I think my brain just recognizes that faster. Okay, Cornelia! Thank you. I appreciate the good vibes. Thank you again for sharing me your art. Showing me your art yesterday. That was uber epic awesome. And yes, I'm really happy to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. Wasn't sure if that was the last I'd see of you. Have a great shift, and yeah, I hope to hear more from you whenever, and then you can talk me up again. Yep. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Yep. We're here for the long tones, am I right? Why am I even trying? Why am I even trying at English right now? Whoa, is the freaking light? Is the lighting of my video like frantically flickering? I'm kind of looking at it from afar. It's a little suspicious. Why am I even trying to English? Am I right? I meant to hit that third note right after that first note. So you gotta improvise. So it's a little sharp. Gotta retune. I'm forgetting to look at that thing. I gotta move my monitor. towards the center by my phone. Look at all this fucking... I got so much space over here. I should add a fucking mini fridge too. Might as well. Yo, Ale FWMLD, dude. Thanks for the vibes comment, man. Dude, thank you, dude. How are you if you're still here? What's up? What brings you to town? A little nothing dramatic. I have to remember. Yeah, and I also have to think about, like, I'm still calibrating my body and my lungs and my airflow and, you know, my lips and my diaphragm and all that, because it's all a part of my intonation and reaching the tune I'm looking for, that note. So there's like a sweet spot for every note, not just slide position wise, like where, you know, this is considered first position, but so this is considered first position where it's all the way towards close, and there's a bunch of different notes. I believe they're called partials, where it's like this could be a low B flat, and then one partial up would be an F, another partial up would be a high B flat, then D, and then high F, and then B flat, and then C, or and then like B2. It's crazy. Like once you get super high, and I just unlocked that range, the altissimo range. Once you go past the high F to F4, the partials they like get so much smaller. So what I was trying to say is, like, not only do my lips like and the aperture, like the smallest differences of the opening of the airflow make a difference in my intonation, whether the sweet spot is in tune or not. So interesting to me. I love it. Oops. Once you hit past the high F, the F4, I just learned this yesterday because I haven't really been thinking about that range because I just haven't been able to access it. My lips haven't been strong enough until recently. Somehow, I can hit, like, first position is like B flat, B, and C, dude. There's like 3 fucking half steps, all in the same position. So it's like, and then there's like the smallest differences in the slide positions as well that make the tune, that make the note in tune. It's so interesting. So I'm like still calibrating my body, still trying to figure out how much airflow would be the default average of pressure that I would need to create a in tune note. You know, so weird, so interesting to me. So yeah, I still got to figure that out, because I can technically play in tune with my tuning slide anywhere, if you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm still trying to familiarize my body with those sweet spots, so then I can approach this tuning slide and the tuner accordingly, and then after that everything will be more consistent and in pitch. So yeah. And one of the things I learned yesterday too, which I really do think helped me unlock this higher range, is I've been expecting, or I've been thinking that I needed more pressure than I needed, which would make like more of a harsher, stronger tone. So I'm like trying to teach my body to like maybe do 40% less than I normally do. Because once I did that, my lips were relaxed more, than I was approaching the higher notes similarly. This might be fucking, you know, Google Gaga shit right now, like yappy yap yap. But I love it, so I'm just gonna keep talking a bit. So yeah, then once I respected the airflow and didn't try to force it more so, and just like relaxed into the notes, approached my articulations the way that I hit the attack, which launches the air out of my body with a little more gentleness, then I was just all of a sudden able to access the higher range. It's crazy. It's really cool. And then once my lips get more comfortable with that amount of air pressure, you know, then I feel like it'll be easier to be louder as well in the higher notes, because I can only play the higher notes softly, and then I think that's just because my lips aren't even used to being there. But the more that I play softly, and the more that they have experience, my lips have experience playing long tones, those muscles will develop, then I'll actually be able to have a more of a sturdy foundation for expelling the same amount of air at a faster rate, which would help me increase my tone quality as well as the volume. So yeah. Another thing too, which might... I'm just fucking yapping right now, dude, but... Another thing too, which I think may help translate to anyone who also wants to learn an instrument, is the deeper that you are aware of the mechanics, the subconscious, you know, system, or like the subconscious mechanics, the technical aspects of sound production, the more that we understand our role in manipulating these mechanics into creating the tones or sounds that we want, the faster we will learn too. So let's take this as a good thing, you know. Let's take this as a good thing in that I'm getting so deep, so deep into the mechanics here. Yeah, or no, or yeah. Sorry. Hold on. That's a good question, Kevin. That's a really good question. And you know, I'm not like a pro clarinet player or woodwind player by any means, though I have developed my own fair share of insights trying to learn it, and being somewhat of a pro at trombone. I'm definitely past the pro level, but no, I'm definitely like around the pro level. I wouldn't say I'm past it. Like, okay, well, so yeah, it does translate. It does translate. And that principle that I was telling you about with intonation and you know, my diaphragm, which is responsible for like airflow, air pressure, and then so that's one thing, or two things really, more so. Then my embouchure, which is kind of the posture or the form that my lips have, and generally like everybody's physiology, everybody's lips are different. Like my example, I pretty much have zero upper lip. I have zero red in the upper lip, and I don't think that affects. I at the moment I can't think of a reason how that would affect like woodwind instruments or reed instruments or anything like that, because so okay, well, example, I could be wrong when it comes to clarinet embouchure, but with trombone mouthpiece embouchure or like a brass instrument mouthpiece embouchure, it's like people have different postures, they have different forms, and a lot of it is just your natural biology. So for mine, for example, because I have a thinner upper lip, I'm like hitting the mouthpiece. I don't know if you can see it too well. I'm hitting the mouthpiece kind of like this. Where, so this is like my upper lip right here. Oh wait, so hold on. So the bottom of my fingertip. So the bottom of where my thumb is where my lip ends, and then they would kind of consider this to be like, like a fucking 60, no, maybe like a 70-30, right? Where the top part, the top 70% is where my like upper part would be, but then the real aperture, the opening of my lips, you know, that opening doesn't really start until like over here, if that makes sense. But you know, people with thicker lips might have an embouchure where their top lip starts up more towards the center, or you know. So then that's like one part of. This doesn't really answer your question at all, but it is like a component of the overall mechanics of everything. Doesn't really answer your question, so I don't think that my lips really have a role because I'm not like buzzing anything. I don't need to depend on the mouthpiece and my lips to buzz to create frequencies in the brass where the sound would travel in a certain way, like then be amplified by the metal. Like with reeds, all the buzzing is made with the reed itself and then the mouthpiece. So there's no buzzing for the woodwinds. So that's like one less mechanic, as far as that I'm aware of, that you don't need in woodwind instruments. So really it's about like airflow then at that point. Airflow and aperture. Or, no, not really aperture, because aperture is kind of also in the relationship with the reed and the mouthpiece. And like if you don't have your reed on properly, it's either too big of an aperture, so there is no like fucking vibration that creates the sound wave, or it's too tight, so there's not even enough room for the air to flow in to create that aperture. Doesn't answer your question, but it's kind of like coming towards it. So really, like that's less of a translating mechanic. So it's really about like you can hold the same buttons, but then depending on how like you're fucking blowing, how much air you are blowing, and like there isn't any sound that's produced until a certain threshold is crossed of airflow. So there's like nothing, and then you blow hard enough, and then you start producing noise. But maybe you won't get to the right pitch until you hit just like a little bit more air. You know what I'm trying to say? Then you can kind of manipulate that interaction with the air in your cheeks too, and like, so yeah, so it's like, or like I can even expand my throat down here, which will help for whatever reason lower the note. Or sorry. You kind of see what I'm saying? I'm not even touching any other buttons. So there's a lot of micro movements that are needed to kind of ingrain into my own body to realize where the intonation is, where the correct amount of airflow is to produce an in-pitch note. You know what I'm trying to say? So I guess looking back at how I've answered, I've eliminated some. I don't know everything. I don't know how it all works. But yeah, I mean, trumpet, tuba, that's mainly the same. I mean, they use valves, and then the trombone eliminates the need for valves in place of just like one long slide that you use instead of like changing the overall structure of how the air moves around in the instrument, which is pretty much what valves do. It's like train tracks or some shit. I don't even know exactly how it works, but it like just reorganizes where the air goes in the instrument. But that's all like pretty static of an effect, in the sense that I'm holding all the buttons, covering all the holes similarly, or I'm holding first two buttons on the trumpet, and there's really not too much more that I can do to change the quality of the sound in the device. It's really all over here. So I was just eliminating some variables like embouchure or whatever. So yeah, I think from my experience, it's kind of an easier translation coming from brass to woodwinds because it just has less that's involved. There's just like less mechanics involved when it comes to producing a sound in the woodwinds because, for example, the reed does all the vibrating for you, where I gotta train my lips to be the reed in the brass instrument. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then so yeah, with the fucking lips buzzing, I think it opens up a lot more that people have to do to even play the instrument, you know, because it's just one really important component / mechanic that you just don't even have to think about. So I think that's another reason why people are able to shed faster and like play faster notes on the woodwinds, and because there's just less to think about, so you can just skip that step. And then also with trombone, like going from B flat to B is like this fucking difference, you know? So imagine like doing this every fucking time you want to do a 64th or like 32nd note, 8th note line run, you know? You gotta fucking whoop. Where in the clarinet you're like, it's a fucking yap. I think I talked for 20 minutes. Guys. Thank you for asking. Because, yeah, as I was saying, you know, the more that we all understand and are conscious and a part of the process of sound production, the quicker we're going to learn. Because we know what's involved and we know what we can control and we know how everything works. So, yeah, I hope it all helps in the long run. And I hope this helps everybody's, you know, approach to learning anything that they're doing, because yeah, the more you're a part of the process, the more you're conscious about it, the quicker and deeper you will learn. I promise you. That's just how the brain works. I promise you guys, it's not a fucking yap for no reason. I promise. Taryn, welcome. I promise I'm not just yapping, guys. But I'm spending a lot of time here at the same time. So yeah. I haven't even done anything on the trombone yet. But yeah, if I'm within 10 cents, I'm pretty comfortable feeling like I'm in tune, like I have a good idea of how my body should be working. But I'm always striving for that zero, baby. I'm always striving for the 0 cents out of tune, in tune range. But yeah, anywhere within 10 cents is fucking chill. And everything, you know, everything that I'm teaching myself is borderline petty, but at the same time, in the long run, I'm gonna benefit from that precise target. From having such a precise target, I'm gonna benefit. But yeah, that's more of a me thing. Wait, no, I'm on B flat now. And that's what we're here for, Taryn. I hope you are inspired, and I hope you don't feel obligated to do anything, but but seeing me do what I do is only reigniting your appreciation and passion to do similar with your own craft, you know. It's all for fun. You should never feel morally obligated to play music. That defeats the whole purpose, in my opinion. And you don't come across like you are, but, you know. Yeah, I'm happy that you are feeling encouraged positively. That's what we're here for. That's weird. Have you not been earning points this whole time, Taryn? B flat. And since these are B-flat instruments, I really should be using B-flat as my example for tuning. So that's kind of my bad. So I'll make it sharper. Damn. Yeah, I was tuning to F4. Yeah, so you know, I should be tuning to B flat, and then using the mechanics I was mentioning earlier to tune to all the other notes in the first position. That's silly of me. I goofed that. Saturn's, yeah. That's, I don't even know how to talk about it, but yeah, that's like one of the most godly contributions to the stream here. And that's frickin' Taryn's passion child, or whatever you call that. Passion contribution. So everybody give a round of applause for Taryn for introducing us to the wonderful music that is Saturn. I forget the title of the video. It's like, this is the best version of Saturn ever. So thank you, Taryn, for sharing and enlightening us. Yeah, that resolve is so good. Excuse me. Man, my back. What time is it? Oh my god, I don't even know if I'll be able to play much drums today. I'll try, you know, for you guys if you have songs. But, I was really hoping I could get to the frickin', real trombone practice, not just my warm-up, so I might have to lock in here. Sorry, guys. Nice, you guys are just chilling? Yes, keep chilling, keep talking, and then I can do my own thing. But yeah, like the metronome, as I say with the metronome, the tuner also keeps us honest. And what good would music be if it was just lying the whole time? If it wasn't an honest thing? I would argue it fucking would be ew. I'd be like, ew. Yeah, okay, that's good then. Yeah, I am totally the same way, Kevin. It's also why I like when Taryn shares her fucking classical orchestral worldview with the class, because I'm like 90% rooted in jazz or whatever. But it's also just because I wasn't really interested in technique or like the formality of music or like sound production until recently. So yeah, Taryn's really helping me look at music in a different world too, in virtue of seeing things from another perspective. Yes. and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think you can. I don't think I would really get the same with metal or like with rock. I kind of see those as a very basic, and for the most part, don't have a lot of depth for where I'm at in my life, in my musical worldview at least. And it could also just be because I've listened to a lot, you know. But I've also just kind of decided that those are pretty shallow forms of musical expression, unless you start thinking about concepts and lyrics or history. But in the mechanics in themselves, I feel like it's pretty simple. I'm not gonna lie to anyone. And I've listened to fucking like Animals as Leaders so much, you know. I've listened to so many different Odd Times. So come fight me, you know. I'll fight you intellectually, and we'll see what happens. Like, you know, and then maybe I'm not exposed as much, because I would say funk might kind of be similar, and it might be even more simple on some terms. But I feel like with funk, there's a lot more inner instrumentational dynamics and relationships, or like deeper relationships going on in the terms of making a song than my current understanding of most rock and metal, which is very like unison, and all the parts are kind of like working towards a focused thing. I don't know, maybe I'm making a bunch of overgeneralizations to sound smarter than I am. Like funk to me is kind of like everybody's, for the most part, they're still serving like a vision, but the roads that they all take walk in parallel to each other, as opposed to like trying to find a point of convergence. I don't know. I haven't had too much to think of, or had too much time to think of it, but yeah, I invite any intellectual fucking conversation on this to open my mind. I dare you. Open my mind, guys. I'm like transcendent Steven Crowder for the musical world. Open my mind. Like classical does that. It does like the interrelationships between instruments and roles, and like of course there's no like guaranteed role for whatever instrument. Every instrument can do another instrument's job probably just as well, or like 60% just as well as like a bass line would, for example, might be like you could probably do the same for the bass. Like instead of playing with the bass for the bass line, you might be able to do a freaking timpani, or you could do a violin or some shit. I don't know. But it's true, like stereotypes exist for a reason. I just feel like there's, or maybe dynamicism might be the concept that I'm trying to hone in on here. One of the biggest dynamics that I think creates more room for depth. Indie punk, indie rock, indie, or like metal, it seems pretty straightforward in like its expression. I don't think there's as large of a range for potential ways to express a song like with classical or jazz. Even though those are like, you know, you can have hybrid approaches to all genres and styles. So like, I'm really just speaking of things in their pure essence, not in the way that these styles are represented in reality, where nothing is really pure and everything has a multitude of inspirations. I don't know. I'm just thinking, guys. I'm a human. I don't fucking know everything. But yeah, emotions also like one of the biggest reasons I appreciate any music. So maybe I just don't. Maybe that's just not part of my fucking brain chemistry or personality at this point in my life either. Is like, I think there's a lot more room for soul and emotion and funk than there would be for metal. I just see metal and like rock as escapism genres more than like deep forms of artistic expression. But a big argument against that might be like folk music, where you really only need a person and their voice and a guitar or some shit to access someone's heart. But a lot of that comes from lyrics. That's something that I kind of omitted when I initially made the argument that rock and metal are very shallow. Because I think, if you fucking include those concepts, historical concept, as well as like choice of words and how to cadence or how to organize words in the structure, you would be having a more holistic view on the art. But I'm not speaking about art. I'm more so than just like genre. But yeah, it's all petty. It's all like it's all whatever, I think the more we understand about anything, and the more intentional our decisions will become as a result, and that might be to everybody's benefit to kind of be aware of what we're doing. But I'm just talking, dude. Fucking it's like also what they say about prodigies, where a lot of people who are super technically proficient and maybe even emotionally proficient, a lot of these people might be bad teachers just because they don't understand what they're doing. They're just like there, and they're naturally aligned to that shit. So who knows? There's so many different doors to open. And like fucking the triangle as a musical instrument, I think it still is deeper of an instrument than a lot of people give it credit for. Even though I still don't really know how deep that instrument can go. You can like mute the top of a triangle. That's like 2 or 3 extra different pitches, tones, muffled tone when you like cover the triangle. Then you can hit it from the inside, get a lot more notes. And then I don't know like how deeper it gets than that. I was trying to get into that. I was trying to look that up yesterday in my free time, just to look at professional triangle players. I don't know the limits of the triangle. I have no idea what the limits of the triangle are. Let's see. If anyone knows the limits of the triangle, or if I'm misrepresenting the nature and the depth of metal and rock, I implore you, I encourage you to disagree with me and let me see things in your technical understanding, because it's really, we're not having a conversation about art right now, so it's not about how it impacts you and where you were in your life when you listen to something, and that's why it's a deep form of art. We're kind of just talking about the tools right now. Or I'm just kind of talking about the tools right now. And the limits of the tools for expression. But then it's like, I'm also kind of speaking of these tools in isolation and not in relation to other tools, which would also open up more avenues of depth. It's kind of like, who is the fucking best guitarist in the world? Except I don't know, I think there is value here. But maybe there's more value to trying to understand all the nuances for the best guitarists in the world as well. If you try to just like keep a knowledge or like understanding and consciousness as the main root of intention than just ego and defending who, you know, helped you get through some bad shit in life. I need to fucking get away from this microphone. Hold on. I don't know how I was hitting those high notes yesterday. What the hell? And like, you can have classical music as a soloist. I'm trying to think about what metal sounds like as a soloist. Like just like a one-man performance. One human performance. Like the traditional form for metal bands, or like maybe an indie rock band is two people really. I feel like that's two or more people. I don't even think you need drums for any of them. You don't need vocals necessarily either. But I don't think you can really have a metal band where it's just a vocalist, right? Unless you can. I don't know actually what the form is for these genres. Like, of course, with jazz and classical, you can have any amount of people. 1 to fucking 50 people. Van Morrison might be an example, but no, that's that's vocals and guitar. So I don't know. But then if it's just guitar, then it's just folk, right? At that point. Or maybe that's a terrible understatement. Like Tim Henson just playing by himself on acoustic. That's probably like prog still, right? That's probably prog rock or metal. See, this is why I fucking feel so humbled every day, is because I don't fucking know anything by the end of my argument with myself. Like a true philosopher. Alright, let's see. I yapped for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I did full range, slide glide, where I had long tone first, slide glide, lip slurs. That's pretty much it. I'm at a 4, maybe 5, because I can't hit the high notes. 5 level fatigue on the lips, with the highest note just being a F4. And then my note is that I yapped for most of it. I don't know, guys. I think I still stick with the idea that metal is pretty simple, though, in the sense of like I'm a fucking idiot. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's not easy until it is, for sure. Like with trombone as well, simply because it's all gate kept with your muscle memory and just general strength. You can't just pick up a thing and play it if it's a trumpet. You gotta work towards that, no doubt. Trombone. Yeah, brass is probably the hardest instrument. Low-key, I used to believe trombone was the hardest instrument in the world, but I don't know anymore. Wow, yeah, that's interesting. The double bass is huge. It is fucking weirdly rigid or rigged. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, that's interesting too. You're like constantly forced in one position with the violin. You're kind of like, I mean, not you specifically, but the first thing I think about is that guy who only trains with one side of his body. Have you seen that? It's like a fucking violin player for me. What did he call it? It was not looks maxing, but it was like looks minning. Looks minning. Minimizing. It's like this guy. He's like he's a symbol for violinists. He just got a fucking cracked out one portion of the body. That's the first thing I think of. Yeah, thanks for letting me fucking ramble and sound like a douchebag every fucking day, guys. I appreciate you for still being so nice to me and chilling. I appreciate it. Oh, wrong thing. I'm guessing you're responding to me at this point, Kevin, about lack of tension and release in popular music. Definitely pop music, I feel. Like in forms of the staple or like the template for pop music, I can see that. Just like pretty shallow forms of tension and release. Though they do want people to change every 4 beats. You know, they're like, every 4 measures should be a little bit different, you know, but some other genres truly respect that principle. And then pop is like, oh yeah, I'll add a freaking doop. You know, or the next one I'll add 2 dupes. Next one I'll add 0 dupes. The difference is that there's nothing so deep. Deeply expressive. I can see that. Yeah, they with like old school rap for sure, it's very like straight 8th notes. But you know, of course there's like jazz rap or like existential rap, chill rap or chill hop rap. What do you even call that genre other than existential rap? But that's more about like lyrical quality. I just find that existential rap tends to have more jazzy samples than old school rap, which was that's fast, but like I think very 8th note heavy, straight 8th note heavy. So what am I even doing now? Scales? Yapping? Maybe no drums today, guys. Low key. I hope you guys don't mind. Actually, no, yeah, I will do drums, but only on special occasions. So if you guys want me to play a song, drop it down, but I probably won't get to a warm-up. That's the only thing. Because I only have an hour and I want to push myself on trombone today. for sure. Yeah, I could see that with, you know, you don't really even have to be attuned to the lyrics for most rap, really. Unless it becomes like jarring because they're swearing so much or something. Like it could easily be perceived as another instrument, like a rhythmic instrument. That's true too, like flipping samples is a big part of culture, hip-hop culture. Unfortunately, unfortunately, as a fucking person who creates their own art and would love to have their art protected from people stealing it, like, unfortunately, you have to clear every sample you do, and if you really want to make or if you really want that song to see its full potential or have the possibility of seeing its full potential, you have to get it cleared to go through the doors. So it is an interesting component of that culture, is like, it opens you up, but it also kind of limits you. It might limit you more in this day and age where everything is so copyright protected and monetarily incentivized. Is this your rap name, Kevin? Young Mainsteam? Oh, I know, that's a real person? What the fridge? He's considered neoclassical? Damn, I thought you were making a joke. That's the real name. Yeah, thanks for letting me explore these concepts without immediately getting out the pitch and fork, guys. I know music is a very precious thing to us all. Unless you have anhedonia. Unless you have anhedonia and you just literally don't have the brain, you don't have the neuronic system to appreciate such musical qualities. I understand it's a very emotional thing for a lot of us, and our egos love to protect things that mean a lot to us, including my own ego, which is my perceived sense of authority in this world. Who are you talking to? Oh, me? The progress report? Yeah, I do. Of course. Dude, how did I do that yesterday? I was so high. I played it so high. Maybe I need to do more gentle breathing. I also didn't do my articulation exercise. So I'll stop being a fucking whiny bitch for the next 10 minutes. I promise. But that's all I'm promising is 10 minutes, guys. Then I will probably be a bitch again. Starting now. Actually, what? And yeah, if you guys too ever want to get in a real vocally talky conversation, the Discord's there for us, you know? You saw Damon, or you heard Damon yesterday, like, even though I wasn't talking to him for like 80% of it, like, we all heard his voice, and he was talking to the chat. I want to eventually do community things, so it's bound to happen sometime that we're all in the same voice chat room, I feel. I feels. But yeah, before anyone gets on my ass for being critical, trying to make an argument that something is less whatever fucking deep because of its simple nature, I do want to also say, kind of in a way to contrast that lens on simplicity, and show more appreciation to the obvious appreciation for simplicity. Meditation is quite literally the elimination of most of what's going on up here, as well as our own movements and our breathing. And that is arguably one of the deepest things you can do for yourself, psychedelically. So you can really only achieve that psychedelic transcendent flow state from the act of eliminating most distractions and most things and simplifying the nature of your consciousness. So I'm not here to say simple is bad, guys. I'm not here to say that. If you guys have drum requests, please bring it down now, because I gotta take a break from trombone soon. Man, I wish I could just be like, OBS, remind me. And then it just like pins this comment or some shit. I don't got time to open up a notepad and do all that shit right now. I'm too introverted for a community. Dude, Taryn, you're like a staple in my community at this point. What are you trying to say? You know what I mean? Like you're a large contributor here. I don't know about that. I don't know about that claim, because you are, you're important in this community. You're an appreciated and valued member of the TEEJYS community. Whether you know it or not, whether I'm like fucking nice to you all the time or not, like, yeah. And you guys can be mean to me too. Don't even fret. You guys can be respectfully disagreeing with me as well. Yeah, once I remember to articulate in the sense of before I produce a note, And before I sing the pitch of the note, I also say the phonetic or the articulating phonetic like da or ta or do before hitting the note. When I do that and I'm like reminding myself to be gentler in the airflow, then my lips are able to hit the higher notes. Yeah, that's interesting. But I won't force it at the same time. It's okay, I shouldn't force it. Alright, I gotta stop. like what they say about studying, like, you know, a bunch, cramming a night before the test. Like, it's way better to just do little chunks every day throughout the week than to do 4 hours right before the day. So I gotta remember the value of chunking and resting, because that's probably why I was able to hit all those high notes yesterday, is because I did a lot of warming up with a bunch of rest time before I actually played and then hit the high notes. So I gotta value the rest time more. Man, yeah, that was like fucking 25 minutes. What did I do? I did articulation, full range articulation. And then CLs, so at a 7 fatigue level with the high note of, I mean, I touched A4, but more accurately maybe just G4. I don't have any notes. Pretty chill overall. Pretty chill overall. I'm just a whiny bitch. That's all. Just a whiny bitch. That's all. Alright. I will say, the first thing I thought about though when I said whiny bitch was, it's kind of racist now, but I mean, it's probably racist back then too, but I don't know if you guys heard of it. Just Kidding Baby, or Just Kidding Films or whatever. The shit was, I learned about this shit at the temple from my other Laotian friends when I was like 7 or some shit. Uncle Sam. Yeah, no, it's hella racist. This is actually super racist, but I want to show you what went in my mind when I said whiny bitch. Because once I said this in my head, and then I just started singing their song, Just Kidding Babies, Don't Take It to the Heart. Have you seen this, guys? It's so fucking cancelable right now. I don't know what happened to these guys. I used to follow them for like 10 years.
Pump the gas in my favorite car, man. The 86 Corolla. And then this big black guy, man. He came out of nowhere. He had a big gun. And then he said to me, oh, I'm so sad. Just a jack move, nigga. You best give me your motherfucking money, cunt. I don't even have the money, man. I work so hard.
So racist, dude. I'm sorry. Sorry if that offended anyone. I have to be real. That's like the first thing that came up in my head after I said I was a whiny bitch. And then I freaking comforted myself with their song, Just Kidding Baby. Just kidding, babies, don't take it to the heart. I fucking downloaded all their shit, all their videos, and put it in my fucking, it's like a Sansa MP4 player or some shit. You guys remember that? Yeah. Yeah, I think this was the exact one, actually. Have you guys seen this? I had like all of their fucking videos on my Sansa. I had this song.
Hey, Uncle Tim, do you feel the music? I feel it. I feel it all
Over the band or
Good one. People, are you the ready? Don't get the man, okay? It's just a joke. It's the April Fool's every day. Just kidding.
Babies, don't take it to the heart. Just kidding, babies, don't take it to the heart.
Just kidding, babies, don't take it to the heart.
So, needless to say, after I sang that, then I was kind of chilling. I wasn't really sad anymore. I'm like, I guess I was just kidding, babies. After all, I shouldn't take it to the heart. But yeah, that's kind of racist, guys. And definitely frowned upon. By myself included, you know. By myself included. Like fucking Uncle Roger. I think he's doing some bad things to the perception of Asian people. And he's kind of monetizing. Though his performance is a lot more shallow, I would argue too. And yeah, less nuance, of course. Same thing. What up, Dakota? Welcome back. You came in at a good time because I'm not bitching anymore. We're not being racist anymore, so. But yeah, if you must know, you can always go back on the VOD. Not here to hide anything. Alright, yeah, gotta lock in. Man, yeah, I guess I won't be able to hit the trombone much. I can't hit the pigskin, though. I'll probably... I don't know what I'll do, actually. Maybe I won't play it safe. I was gonna say I'll probably play it safe because I haven't warmed up, but I might just trade that off for sounding like a piece of crap. I think that might be better for me. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm here to explore. I think anything that I do will like naturally be some form of judging. But I also don't want to come across like I am the final judger, and I want to be more I want to place more of an emphasis on the exploration part. No doubt. I appreciate your understanding cuz I have no filter. So, I'm bound to fucking run into some weird topics. More frequently than not. If you like that, you like that. I'm not mad. What are we talking about? Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. In virtue of the limited time I have, I will have to revisit these comments. Because I see some things I really want to respond to. But, yeah. Gotta stay a little more focused right now. Maybe it's not worth fucking downsampling. So, all right. So I should be good. Hold on, let's see. Yep. If you guys got requests, please send them. Thank you for your graciousness. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, I was just checking if this mic works because it's using the cable that was kind of weird, but yeah, it's conveniently placed at a good angle where the cable is functional. All right, I'm gonna mute this mub. No. Yeah, so I might as well put on my drumming uniform because it's more comfy that way. And then also, no request. Oh, that's chill. All right. If there's no requests in like 10 minutes, I may go back to trombone, low key. But usually people come through and drop some. So we'll play it by ear, and then yeah, then some. One time there's like nobody that was here. It was kind of surprising. So I had an opportunity to do whatever I wanted, which was interesting. It was a nice way to cope with the silence that I'm not used to as much since I started doing requests. But yeah, the only thing, or not really the only thing, but the thing I do want to respond to now, because I remembered what you said, Taryn, about songwriting or something. Yeah, I believe this firmly for most, if not all, creative products, including like 1 out of 10 indie movies or some shit, you know? Like the fact that people are able to finish anything is something that I think is like high virtue, and it should always be applauded, in my opinion. So I will always applaud anyone who makes a song, even if it's fucking the worst song ever. So as long as it is a true attempt at expression and exploration and creativity practice, and it's not like a fucking commercialized cash cow endeavor. So yeah, I definitely agree. It takes a lot of gall and a lot of courage to not just start a project, but to finish one and then even share it with the world, to potentially being risking yourself of like embarrassment or something. All right, I'll be RB, guys. Gotta change. Actually, I gotta reset stream because I'm guessing copyright will be a thing in a second. So I'm gonna reset it and then I'll go change.